This is a game called Somber Echoes. It's a playtest version of Somber Echoes. And I added this to my wishlist back in March 2024. I don't know where I saw it. I don't know why I added it to my wishlist, but I was in the Metroidvania.gg Discord a couple of days ago, and one of the guys there said, "Oh, I just finished the Somber Echoes playtest." It's like, there's a playtest? Why have I not heard of this? And the reason I hadn't heard of it is because I'd forgot to add the notifications thing on Steam, as I am wont to do. So even though it was a bit late, I signed up for the playtest. It's now Monday the 19th of August, and I'm going to give this a bit of a crack. All I know about this is that it looks a little bit like Grime, in the sense that it is a 2.5D, dark, potentially Souls-like Metroidvania. It's got a cool splash screen. I've noticed that the music doesn't loop, which is a bit of a shame because I quite liked the music. Let's see what it is all about. Thank you for playtesting Somber Echo. The game is still in active development, so expect to encounter placeholder assets and bugs. Feedback is priceless. Please consider sharing your thoughts. The demo is a condensed version of the early parts of the game. I actually quite like it when devs do this. I know it is more work for them, essentially creating a bit of a vertical slice, a special version just for demo and playtesting. But I do appreciate it. Voidwrought did it, Crowsworn did it. Adrestia, wake up. Whee! Ooh, that's actually a really interesting background. So you can immediately see where the Grime comparisons are going to come from. It's dark, it's atmospheric. Adrestia seems to emit light in a cone in front of her. Variable jump height. I was expecting the volume to be louder based on the volume of the intro. We've got ledge grabbing. It's jump to stand up. Okay. Fiery, watery stuff is deadly. It looks like we're in some kind of underworld.
The voice is urged.
Oh, we've got some oops, shite. Demerton is good at games. He is not. Okay, back to the start. So in terms... Ooh. That's left bumper. That's a shield. Got no other. Ah, here we go. Buttons. Nyx armor. Adrestia's armor is powered by the same... Nyx as in the Greek goddess of knights. Maintain your Nyx armor by consuming spoils of war. Oh, we do have a map of sorts. It's a little bit bare bones right now, showing us the entire zone. Oh no, it's just this room, isn't it? We do have a pin menu. That's again a little bit bare bones, but that's the whole point of a playtest. This time. I feel like the way the light...
Groaning and shying, awakened from a slumber deep. This place of oblivion and shadows reacted to her newfound awareness.
So we're gonna get a narrated experience? it sounds like. I like the way the little alcoves that you can ledge climb into are very specifically lit. Is stuff moving and changing around us? Uh-oh. Huh. You are slow. Blocking. Adrestia can defend herself against enemy attacks. Hold left bumper to negate damage from an incoming enemy attack.
She had no recollection of this place, and how she even got there. The last thing carved in hazy memory, her sister's raging grimace.
There is... Right, options. Sounds. Yeah, sound balance seems very... Ooh, that's nicely done as well. Sound balance seems very biased towards the narrator and voices. Normally I'd put that up anyway. But... one thing that I will definitely say so far is that the performance of the game seems pretty decent. Yeah, there's often issues with 2.5D games where performance tends to be a little bit on the lackluster side. There's a shiny thing down there. I believe we are being guided to it. Ooh, stomps. We are being guided to it.
Her grip tightened around the weather hilt. Her combat instinct writhed. If this forsaken place wanted to keep her a prisoner, her blade it would not taste.
Okay. A weathered but... yeah, see, Gladius. It's very Greek-inspired. Combat animations seem fairly fluid. Ooh, we've got clanks. So we've got a 4-hit combo which ends in uppercuts. Oh. Or doesn't. Oh, interesting. It ends in an uppercut when you are holding towards. Got upward attacks. And we've got a downward twisty spirally thing, which it looks somewhat gravity defying. Yeah, the confines of the corridors are quite tight. Impact on the parry sounds a little bit weak. Thing! A Nyx core. Nyx orb? Nyx core? Nyx orb. Consistency. You've now permanently upgraded your Nyx armor. So we've got more hit points, essentially. Yeah, I'm going to assume that this is very placeholder. I'm not a big fan of this scanline effect. For a couple of reasons. One of which is incredibly selfish, but one of which is purely aesthetic. Let's talk aesthetics first. It looks ugly. You know, if this was very computery sci-fi, which it could be realistically, you know, if it's made to look like an old computer monitor, I kind of understand, but I'd like to be able to turn it off. And I'd like to be able to turn it off because if I was to, for example, map out this game and I was going to use screenshots, lining everything up with these awful scan lines would not be fun. It's an aesthetic that I don't like. I'm not a fan of scan lines in general. Oops. Okay, that's... yes. Don't know why he flew into the air then. I suspect that was potentially supposed to be some kind of leap attack. That needs a little bit of work, I think. Save points. No? Hitbox seems generous. The environmental details are nicely done. I'm noting these crystals look holographic. The knockback that we get from accidentally clanking on something is fairly significant. Yeah, don't know what's going on with the those enemies there. It seems to happen when you guard in close range, just as they're about to start an attack.
Terror incarnate. Adrestia was forewarned by the ethereal whispers. A ghastly...
Oh, that's lovely. An enraged enemy cannot be staggered by attacking. Try parrying instead. Okay, I could do with some better tells and definitely some kind of impacty sound on... on parries. Right now, the parry slash impacts are... I'm just not realising when I've done them, because there's no identifiable sound, or if there is, it's mixed lower in the audio than, for example, the attack. The audio balancing does seem like it's going to need a little bit more work. See if I can alter my own sound settings a bit. Clonk. Yeah, that was an odd enemy in the sense that my expectation was that if it was in the background, you weren't going to be able to attack it. When it was in the foreground, it would be vulnerable. But actually, you could attack it when it was in the background as well, which is kind of unusual for a 2.5D game. The issue came in the sense of, am I deflecting slash blocking slash, avoiding? Because obviously with the UI being up in the top left-hand corner and me playing on a reasonably sizable monitor, yes, I can see it in my periphery, but if I'm playing a Souls-like and I'm focused on defending against a boss or attacking against the boss, I'm not moving my eyes to the top left corner to see what's going on there. But I definitely like the kind of 3D modelling work and the lighting. It's whilst I think it's a bit weird, to be honest, that we've got this quite bright glowing cone in front of us. Oops. I do like how it is illuminating
with anticipation,
all the things.
The voices pressed here onwards. Salvation was within reach.
Yeah. So the atmospherics here are really nice. We've got some fiery, cindery stuff in the background. We've got stuff being lit by this quite harsh illumination. And then we've got all this kind of atmospheric fog roiling in the foreground. Or I suppose the middle distance. It's quite an intriguing world setup. Like some kind of... I suppose if it is Greek myth inspired, then it's some kind of underworld. It is... Shit.
As oblivion closer drew, the smallest of sparks appeared. And when to pulsing beacon it had grown, the voices, hesitant, sounded once again. To merge her light with the beacon they commanded, and use its power to escape this place for good.
Oh! This is a mechanic! Ether energy. Whee! I fucked that up! It's... okay. Yeah, obviously these are going to need some actual sound effects and stuff, but again, it's a playtest. Definite Greek inspiration. Ooh.
Eternal Nyx, goddess of the night, offered the stern direction to confront the all-powerful Harmonia once more. Her powers needed sharpening.
Okay, the physics on that falling over needs a little bit of work. For something that size, it was very gentle. Yeah, okay. So this is our actual body. I wonder whether we're going to get returned to that realm should we die. Doing that down attack when you're quite close to the ground looks a little bit weird. Yeah, definite Greek inspiration. So that's definitely what we're going for. But also, definite future. So this is sci-fi. Also, I've got a new UI thing. Oh. Oh. So not a double jump, but a kind of rocketing ability. Inspect. It's devoid of life now. I wonder if we're going to get that to save points. I thought we might sit on it. We're not. The world has darkened around us, which means that I imagine enemies respawn and stuff. In proper Souls fashion. Spawn ether. Adrestia has the power to spawn ether lanterns at any location. Land on a solid surface to reset your ether lantern budgets. Aim. Eject. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and now I see the importance of the ledge grabbing. You get some directional control as well. Oh, and you need to wait. There's no time limit, or if there is, it's much longer. Unlock minimap. Ah. See, I don't mind a minimap having scan lines on. It's just the main map. It's the same. No, it's not quite the same thing. Shrine. Player. Yeah, having a little scan line effect on the minimap, no issue. It's having it on the main map. It's like, okay, this is sci-fi, so I kind of get it. Map overlay, right bumper. Ether lantern, armed spear. I see. It puts it into the center of the screen. Quick mapping. Do I want to? Certainly do. No. Okay, we got a fiery wall. Clearly there to stop us progressing further up there. It is marked on the map, which is interesting. So whilst the map might actually appear quite rudimentary, it's actually in a bit of the same way that Metroid Dread works. It is dynamically putting obstacles on for us. And yes, we do get air control. Projectiles fired from enemies can be reflected back to them by properly timing a sword attack. Interesting that it's sword attack and not the shields. Yeah, so we're having to use that. So it oh. Yeah, so we're having to use our ether lantern proactively. Shite. Damn it! That was just me being bad. That was me being very bad indeed. Oh, balls. That's the wrong button. Right, let's try this again. That's the button. And you've got to make sure you ground yourself. Yeah, if you don't ground yourself, you're not going to... That enemy is quite difficult to see. Health? Slash armor? Question mark? Oh, damn it. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, the enemy is reacting with impact there. Which, so much of game feel is tied to audio. You know, if there's no controller rumble, so if on that parry there'd have been either controller rumble or a sound effect to show impact, that would have felt, I think, really good, because the visual obviously is there. But without the sound effect to really kind of hammer home that impact, or a vibrating controller to say, yeah, you powered that, well done, it doesn't... See, that's got impact sound. Even if you use the same sound effect as a placeholder, that would go a chunk of the way. How am I getting out of here? I was correct. I just hadn't hit it at the right angle. For those of us who are, let's say, challenged in the stick aiming department, I would like a little bit more of kind of a lasery pointer style thing for aiming. Are these things supposed to attack, or are they just there to help us get our health back? No. That's a little bit of a trickier. Yes, I can definitely see what they're going for, and the atmospherics are very cool indeed. The actual realization of the world it's full of detail. The kind of stark harshness of the light that we carry with us, or that we bring with us, I suppose, is... It really helps bring this world into a very kind of harsh and stark relief. I think it could do with being a little bit clearer. Yeah, don't get me wrong. My natural assumption for something like this is, ooh, it's a lit end to a tunnel. It could be a doorway. But I think maybe a little bit more clarity could potentially work in the game's favour. Not with a bright neon sign or anything like that, but certainly some kind of extra pickups are marked on the map. Interesting. Another health. Okay. Because we know that this is a kind of condensed version, maybe that's one of the reasons why the map is as it is. But to be fair, you know, the fact that the map marks all of these obstacles on, I greatly appreciate. And we do have map pins. Don't get me wrong, I don't like the actual graphic for the map pin. I don't think it meshes with the actual aesthetic of the map particularly. And also, and I suppose you can aim the point of the pin to where you want it to go, so it's workable like that, but... Oh, that can shoot you out of your ether lantern. Right, when we are hurt, we have an actual hurt stance. Again, this is one of the things that you can do with 3D. That, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can do it with with 2D as well. Yeah, you do have directional control. You do have directional control in your flight states. Oh, damn it. I keep pressing the wrong button. Yes, the ether lantern mechanic is, as it often is in games, very cool.
Radiance and Nocturne had been disturbed. Aether and Nyx explained.
Aether?
The source of all this misery and pain. Meddling and foolish mortals. The equilibrium Adrestia needed to restore, and through her labors, grow mightier.
Okay. So was that the way of saying we need to come back here later? Or are we going down? No, we can go down. Slug things! Yeah, so we can get health back by killing stuff. It's a little bit weird, actually, that we get kind of partial bits of our health crystals back. Oh, so there was a sound then? I don't think it's impactful enough. It just sounds like a whoomp. This is really cool kind of world building and design. Performance is dipping a little bit. Yeah, little bits of stutter here. But again, it's a playtest. Optimization is one of the last things that gets done along with localization. Yeah, there's very clearly a lot of background detail and particle effects here, which is going to naturally cause some hiccups in a build that is not like superbly optimized, which I wouldn't expect this to be. This is not a critique, it's an observation. Oh dear lord. It's an observation for sure, but the fact that we've got 1 pip for our lantern implies that we're going to get more pips for our lantern. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. I've got to say, my natural inclination is to try and parry that. Maybe we will get an upgrade to our shield. That's not going to parry, is it? Nice. Camera's a little slow to catch up there. Okay, there is stuff up here. Ugh! Weird brain things! That's a very suspicious room, isn't it? Yeah, see, I wasn't... I hadn't realised that was going to be a room transition there. What is that? Security turrets. Enemies stay dead. As you'd expect, this definitely seems like it's leaning into the Soulsy trappings, which I'm fine with. No place is safe. Keep away. Playing things. There's possibly something down there. I mean, when you've linked a room up like this, it's obvious that there's a doorway. But could there have been a doorway here? I don't know. Door locked. Oh! What did I do then? Okay.
Her senses dulled. She gazed at her surroundings. The city that once proud here stood was now reduced to rubble.
The syntax, the grammar of this sentence construction. It's a nice light beam through fog effect. It's very odd. Hello?
To the statue of Harmonia his gaze affixed. The man seemed lost in thought. But as Adrestia slowly approached, he swiftly turned to face her. It was Hephaestus standing there.
Ah.
An artisan renowned. His engineering skills
I see what they're doing here.
Were famous far and wide.
So Hephaestus, the Greek god of the forge.
The ship could still be saved if all the pieces of a shattered necklace could be found.
Interesting. So they haven't voice acted the characters, they've had the narrator. Ooh. 260th Pythia of the Atromitos, Supreme Oracle and Holy Matriarch. May her visions guide our journey. Sculpture by Hephaestus. I think this probably needs a little bit more work in terms of its sci-fi-ness. Don't think the font works. I don't mind it for the... I mean, obviously we've got a different font. Have I got a mouse cursor? I have not. We've got a different font on the map itself to above the map where it says Lower Residence the Fountain to the actual UI font as well. A little bit of consistency is kind of necessary. There, we do seem to have got music going now. Yes, I assume we're going to get extra lantern pips so we can fling ourselves further and so on and so forth. But either way, we've got a quest. We need to find 4 necklaces. For reasons. And the implication that we are on a ship is an interesting one. So this isn't just a kind of a futuristic city. It is actually a spaceship. Oh, a Stargate. Can't use the ladders. Ladders? Steps. Okay. So. Yeah, see, I appreciate that it's an actual pin icon, but there's a reason why in Metroidvania games the icons tend to be kind of round or square. Oh, damn it. Oh, that doesn't kill us straight away. It just chips away our health. I keep pressing circle because I'm expecting us to have a dodge roll. We don't have a dodge roll.
Automated security measures are in place. Please manually power up the district Cersei chamber to disable.
Can't attack through the door. We clunk off that. Okay. I think part of the fun for me, as somebody who does like and appreciates Greek mythology, it's going to be how have they done things? You know, how have they adapted Greek myth? The way the camera shifts. Okay, that was a door. Ah.
Automated secure. Please manually.
Okay. Oh, so that has been marked on the door. Marked on the door? Yes. That door has been marked on the map. I knew what I meant. You knew what I meant. Yeah. So, while it's not the prettiest, and it looks a little bit blurry, which is possibly a scaling thing, I need to check something. I'm going to assume Browse local files. Is this a Unity game? No, this is an Unreal game. That makes sense in terms of its slightly better performance as a 2.5D thing. Because Unreal is... I'm not going to say it's better for 3D games than it is for 2D games. You know, Ender Lily's proved that it can do 2D games just fine. But if you're going to produce something like this, Unity tends to struggle a little bit more. Right, I guess we've only really got one way we can go here. There's another passageway up there. In fact, it's been marked on the map. Maybe we're going along the top? Zap Breakable. I mean, it's putting a lot of stuff on the map for us, which I appreciate. Okay. So, Zap Breakable. What is Zap? What's it going to do? Hello, friends. Yeah, see, I successfully defended against that in the sense that I didn't take any damage. But I think there is a counter. And I'm just not entirely sure whether I'm pulling it off because of that lack of impact weight yet. The game, to an extent, reminds me of Hellpoint. Hellpoint, which was the sci-fi Souls-like, which stood out for its very kind of sci-fi aesthetic in a genre that is very kind of fantasy and dark fantasy at that. That's what this is reminding me of. Complete with its slightly stiff for the moment controls, but again, that's something that is very, very easily, I'm not going to say fixable, but more work can be done on that. You know, it's early days. That's the literal point of playtesting. Hello, NPC. NPC.
His armor bashed and
Ares.
stained, but his prowess and determination unwavering. Ares, the captain of the Atromitos watch, as steeled and vigilant as she remembered.
Could probably do with a
He
bit
would
more
stand
shadowing.
guard, he said, if she could find a way for the security measures to be lifted.
Uh-huh. So we need to go and find this Cersei console. Hold on. A breakable wall. Onyx fragments. Ah-ha-ha! Okay. So that, I think, marked the breakable wall. That thing's on fire. That marked the breakable wall on the map for us, but I don't know. Oh, you can hit them before they fire at you. I don't know whether it marked on until we'd hit it. Yeah, a little bit more on the area transitions, please. Just making it a little bit more obvious. Because we hit the transition zone and it's quite quick. It does automatically run us through. I don't know. That feels like it needs just a little bit more something to it. And I know that's not massively helpful feedback. I appreciate that. I don't think that died. No, it didn't. Oh, it's enraged. Right. On the mini-map in the corner, there's a little red thing, which seems to be connected to us. Is that an indicator of where we should be going, or is it a glitch? That's the wrong thing. Oh. Oh no, breakable walls do in fact show up. Interesting. That one was horizontal though, and actually the vertical... No. Yeah. That one was horizontal, but the map showed it as vertical. We can't get round here. And interestingly, there is a pickup, but it hasn't marked it on our map. Yeah, I don't like the pin. I'd like a diamond shape, or a circle, or a square, or a star, or... Yeah. That definitely doesn't work for me. And I'm still pressing circle to roll around. They are quite difficult when you are as low skill as I am. Shite. As very calmly epitomised there. Oh, we're back here. Security turret. Yeah, so we get an alert when it's going to charge at us, which is nice. There wasn't a way that I could get up with that. Huh. Okay, so it's not saved the fact that we've picked that up. Obviously, it needs to save that we've broken that wall and picked it up on the map. Again, playtest, fine, not an issue. It's something that will need to happen, but isn't happening just yet. Hi, friends! Power up at the Grove. Yeah, so those things are just basic one-hit things. Yeah, the particle effects are causing the... Oops. They're causing the frame rate to tank a bit. That's not unusual. Obviously, I'm recording and this is a playtest, which is, by its very nature, unoptimized. You know, this isn't a public demo available for people or anything like that. Smoke effects quite Quite nice. Oh. I didn't go this way before. Oh, I died up there, didn't I? Because I'm rubbish. Ah. Oh, if you kill them before they explode, their fire particles stay. That probably needs fixing from memory. I'm noting a few little dead ends like that. There's like... Those probably would normally have a thing in them. But as of right now, they do not. And by a thing, it could be collectible, it could be an enemy. Those little lamps look quite similar to the turrety enemies. You gonna come alive? No? Okay, not getting down there. What's that been marked with? Oneway Hatch. It's even got a little one-way symbol. Not super clear, but again, the map strikes me as in a kind of very work in progress state. That was the wrong button. Oh, you can kind of get yourself into them, which means that they're always constantly trying to jump backwards to leap at you.
In breathtaking detail, a man, his face in agony twisted. The helmet mounted on his head seemed ancient in style, as did the shield resting idly by his side, and his snapped-in-two long spear. Shackled by heavy chains that dug deep into his skin, the man was being crushed, diminished. And though heroic his form seemed, his identity remained a mystery.
On the subject of a spear, a holy spear! Exclamation mark! The signature ranged weapon of the military, the Legionnaire's spear. Impaling enemies with the spear prevents rage mode. Impaled enemies are constantly vulnerable. That's not how you spell vulnerable, but that's fine. To chain attacks. Hold Y while aiming with left stick, release Y to throw the spear. I find it quite interesting. It's an interesting little touch, and I can see what they're doing with that. I don't know whether it will work, but the button to get out of the tutorial has always been the same one that you need to press to use the item. So, for example, the blocking tutorial, in order to get out of the blocking tutorial, you had to press the button that you block with. Same for the ether tutorial. Same for the attack tutorial and the jump tutorial. Huh. So we have to pick the spear back up. The spear also has no impact sounds or anything right now, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah. So you got to get close to it. I foresee some issues with that. Because there doesn't seem to be a button to recall it. So what happens if you throw it and it gets stuck in the ceiling? I suppose we can ether lamp up to it.
Cersei interface. Low residence now online. Access. Level Helican Legion Tribune. Verified. Security measures have been lifted.
Okay, so the map has been opened up in terms of Cersei Doors. There are 3 of them. When zoomed out like this, actually, it's quite a nice little map. Again, I just don't like the scan lines. Can we do something? Okay, Cersei terminals also act as save points. Yeah. Yeah, there's no recall function for the spear. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's gonna get a teensy bit annoying, potentially. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be fine. Oh. Yeah. See, if it's going to require accurate throwing, that's going to be an issue. Because my aim sucks. See? I feel like maybe its hitbox needs to be wider if you're going to use it as a projectile weapon. It seems like it just sticks in the enemy until they die. So it's not something you're going to be using, you know, as a ranged weapon. It's almost like a debuff that you're putting on. The way the camera is wobbling back and forth a bit is kind of not fun, if I'm honest. Ooh. Was kind of assuming that was going to be a thing. Okay, that can blow them up, but it flings your spear away. Right, what is the point of this room? Ah, there's a thing up there. Ah, there, in fact. Whee! Ooh. Okay, there's a reasonable amount of cool-looking stuff in the background that you think, oh, that's going to be a thing. And it isn't. Get out of it. Tiny brain things. Right, there's a whole section up here. So many brain bugs. It's just chipping away at my health as well. Ah, this is going to take us to the other side. Aha! That's how one-way door opens. Teleports. Oh! Does actually teleport us to the Grove. Is this part of the same map? It is? Question mark? Aha, it is. Those are interestingly spread out. Oh, there we go. We do have a world map. I think I'd probably prefer if it had a flat colour background, but you know, that could just be a me thing. Yeah, the performance is a little bit stuttery. Oh. A necklace piece. Hephaestus has asked for all pieces of the necklace to be collected. Huh. Yeah, there's in terms of the fundamentals, this feels like it's got an idea and it is working towards that goal. It's not there yet. Ow. It's definitely not there yet, but the visually, it's great. Combat could do with a little bit more oomph to it, but again, a lot of that is to do with sound design. Aha! 2 ether lanterns. I don't know how long this playtest is, but I think I'm actually going to leave it there. For a couple of reasons, one of which is my voice is, as I've mentioned in previous videos now, something is up, and I still haven't been able to get a doctor's appointment to see a specialist about it. So I need to take a break to rest my voice. But in terms of overall thoughts, I've got some nitpicks, but realistically, as somebody who has gone into this with the express understanding that this is a playtest, not a demo, not a marketing thing, it is a playtest for a game that is in development, it feels like it's got some good ideas going for it. I like the Greek mythology tie into it. It's got a little bit of almost a throwback feel to it right now. You know, it feels like everything could be tightened up ever so slightly in terms of animation, in terms of feedback for the player, in terms of just the kind of feel of moving the character. But I like the ether lantern idea. I think this spear is going to need some work in terms of its feel and potentially its aiming. It depends on how exacting you are going to need to be with your aiming in the game as a whole. Because I'm not a shooter player. I don't have a good aim on a controller, and I don't play platformers on a mouse and keyboard. I know people do, not for me. So if the spear is going to be required quite a lot, and there's going to need some precision involved, I'd need some kind of auto lock on or something to aid with that, even if it's just optional. Font choice could do with being more consistent. It stands out a bit in a game that is going for sci-fi. And the fact that you've got 3 different fonts. You've got a font for the overlay here, you've got a font for the Grove, the Hanging Gardens, and you've got a font for your main UI. It's like, pare it down a bit. Pare it down a bit. I'd also, of course, appreciate if we could get native support for the DualSense controller, or at least the option of having the icons change for the different controller type, even if it's something that you have to set yourself as opposed to being auto-detected by Steam. But I went into this not really knowing a damn thing about it, and my initial impressions of the map weren't great, but actually I can see what they're going for a little bit better now. I still think it's a little bit fuzzy in places, and maybe the icons need sci-fiing up a bit. I'd recommend that they take a look at how 9 Souls does it. I think 9 Souls was a pretty decent way of doing a kind of sci-fi UI. These map pins, it's great that we've got custom map pins. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the actual graphics for them. I prefer something that's a little bit more exacting and custom. But I do like how all the things are being marked on the map. Though obviously there are some things that I've collected and broken that have respawned on the map. Those need to be persistent, but that's fine. That's something to be looked at. Rebindable controls are here, which is good. It's possible that that's all the things and that we're just going to get... I don't know. Playtest. Thank you very much for watching. If any of the devs have watched this, I hope the feedback has been useful. As I said, I will put out more of this once I've allowed my throat to go and recover, because I'm getting croaky after all of an hour of recording, and that's not good. Thank you very much for watching anyway, folks. This has been a bit of a look at Somber Echoes. So far, interesting. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing? Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.